somewhere in North America, it's The Blast!
It's starting at the same time.
With your host, Jim Buffer.
I'm punching it. I'm hitting so hard. I'm hitting it so hard.
What? You're hitting something? A wall, maybe?
I hit that so hard. Here we go.
Oh, we're gonna go. We're gonna cut out for Amy today.
We've been live for a good solid minute.
Amy, close your eyes. We might go down that road again.
We've been on for 30 seconds.
We've been on for about 8 seconds. I can count.
I know. No. The extreme heat we're having is affecting my computer.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know what I'd do without air conditioning right now.
You're very blurry tonight, Jim.
It's a cool 73 here in the house. I mean, the studio.
I'm gagging.
Quiet.
I think we are.
Oh, yeah. Are we ready for this? When's the last time we actually started the show and we're actually ready for it?
Well, I think that what's happening, and I'm going to double check, but I do so many pictures and videos and crap of everything, and then I save it in my computer, and I've got one of those, what do you call them, one of these. And I need to put everything into my because it's slowing my computer down. Because honestly, I'll sit there just as we're starting the show, and I'm like, click, 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 nothing. How the heck are you guys tonight on this beautiful night?
What's going on, Jim? How is everyone? How is it across these United States? Let's start with the East Coast. What's going on over there? What's the weather like? Is it a beautiful evening?
I'm gagging.
I'm gagging over here.
He was talking about the weather, not about.
Yeah, exactly.
Gagging.
Danny's back in town.
Anyway.
What's that?
How hot is it there?
He's back.
But it's the humidity.
We have 100% humidity. It's disgusting. Right now, let's see here. What is the temperature? 79 and 70% humidity.
Oh, what?
Wow.
70% humidity.
Sierra, how about you?
What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Not nearly that sticky, thank goodness. I hate humidity. It makes my hair poof out so bad.
Why do you think I got the baseball cap on, baby?
She knows. You know what's up. No, it's actually been really nice here. It got down in the 40s this morning, which was really nice. I actually had to use a blanket. It was great.
I'm just 2 miles south of Jim. We're sitting right now at 99 degrees.
Yeah.
We just dropped back below 100 here a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Now what's the real temperature? What's the real temperature?
95 right now, and it was 103 today.
You're such
Tomorrow.
a liar. You guys, your nose is growing.
Wait.
No, it's true.
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Can you see
now,
that?
the reason it's warmer, the reason it's warmer is because I'm mid-valley.
I don't know.
The humidity's 19, 20, somewhere in there.
Yes.
I'm showing 15 right now. 15.
Is it really?
So it's 15% humidity, which isn't that bad, but the temperature difference. You got rivers up. There's the 2 rivers that cut through Portland. There's the Columbia and there's the Willamette, and that actually kind of cools it down.
We've got them on both sides. But Amy, don't be jealous, because we are the ones who are going to die in the earthquake. So I mean, give us at least a little bit of enjoyment before we go.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's not working for me.
It's not going to happen. I don't care about you guys. Frickin' fall into the ocean. I don't give a shit.
You guys are laughing at 70%, but we get up to 100% humidity. Disgusting. And I think my AC is got to be charged, or it's conking out on me.
My favorite
time to down.
My favorite time to discuss the weather is when Amy's buried in like 94 feet of snow. We're like looking outside going, oh, it's a light drizzle at about 60.
I can see the sun.
Exactly. Oh, this afternoon it was it dipped all the way down to 52 today. It's horrible.
Yeah, or Brett's normal thing is to pick up his computer and turn it to the window when the show's over, so it's 11 p.m. her time. He's like, oh wow, it looks like the sun is maybe going down in about an hour.
Right. We can still head over to the park or something. Maybe meet up. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you start to see things dripping off my nose, it's it's just hot.
We so our newest co-host, Crystal, is today is the first day of school. Hawaii has year-round school, and she sent me a text, and she goes, "Oh my God!" She goes, So right now, here's what's kind of cool or different in a way, is that I don't know how many time zones we go. Okay, so I'm gonna let everybody know how unintelligent I am again by asking this question. This is going to be very similar to what state is New England in? Okay, it's one of those questions. I know that in Oregon it's 7 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock, and I know that in New England, in Boston, it's 10 o'clock, right?
10 p.m. Right?
Yeah.
So to me, there's 3 time zones.
Correct.
But there's not, because
yeah, there is.
Isn't there 4?
It's 4.
There's 4.
There's mountain time, but there
Pacific, Central, Mountain.
Right. Okay. So we have a member of Mountain Time. We have a member of Mountain Time.
Wait.
We do exist.
Sierra, you're Mountain Time, right?
By the way, Jim, do you know why Mountain Time exists?
So they can have an extra hour to make moonshine.
Cascades. Blocks the sun early. It's a mountain range. It's called Mountain Time because it actually blocks the sun early.
All right, but here's my question, okay?
Help me figure this out. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
No. Help me figure this out. Then we also have Central Time, right, which is more Chicago. Is that correct? Chicago is not.
Midwest or Central. There's Eastern, Midwest, and Pacific. And then there's that little strip that's Mountain Time, which just sits on the other side of the Cascades.
Help me out here. We've got 4 time zones. We all agree, correct?
But Mountain Time isn't a real time zone. It's Pacific. It doesn't really. They made it up because they just felt left out.
But isn't if it's 7 p.m. our time, isn't it 8 p.m. Mountain Time?
Correct.
Yep.
No, it's not.
Then it's 9 p.m. Central, and it's 10 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Right? That's 4 time zones, but we're only 3 hours away. I don't get it.
Because you're in one of the time zones.
Right, but there's 4 of them.
Yeah. It's a time in your time zone, and then you have 3 more time zones, so you add 3 hours.
Oh, shit. Okay, so it's 3 time zones away.
Yeah.
Correct. There you go.
All right, let's go on to the first topic.
Hey!
That's kind of like when I was standing in line yesterday. I was standing in line yesterday, and I hear a young girl say, "Is Manchester, New Hampshire, in Massachusetts?" I actually turned. I looked at her. I was like, "Is Manchester, New Hampshire, in Massachusetts?" Like,
now remember, she can vote.
Yeah, unfortunately.
At some point or another, she can vote.
Probably in both the Manchester, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, races.
The best thing we could do for our future is convince the younger generation that voting on Facebook is the same thing as voting for real.
I think you should start it.
It's kids like that make a really good case for abortion. Like, I'm all for pro-life until somebody stupid opens their mouth.
Wait.
Well, you know what I've always said too.
You can't leave everybody. Are you suggesting I should have been aborted?
I'm not going to say that out loud. but I'm thinking it.
Jim, maybe she's being kind and thinking instead of abortion, swallowing.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe they should have stuck to window licking and paint chip eating.
It's too bad your mom didn't swallow. That's okay.
That is my favorite.
Nice.
Now I'd like to point out too, Jim does love the taste of rust, so it's a big thing with him.
I didn't say that one, James. I did not say that one. Why are my glasses
Again, because I don't know that New England's not a state. I didn't understand how there was 4 time zones, but only 3 hours away. So again, I don't understand what the hell that was all about. The rust? Well, I don't get it.
I think it could have been. And by the way, Jim, the word ask is spelled A-S-K. There's no X in it. So there you go.
Right over my head.
That's something else entirely.
That is, you're right. That's a whole other problem.
So before we move into topics, which we have a lot of, so our new co-host, which this is kind of interesting to me, is that where it's 10 o'clock or 10:15 p.m. right now, Amy's time, it is 4 p.m. her time. So in order to pull this off and have all of us together sometimes, we're looking at actually 4 p.m. start time for one person, 10 p.m. start time for the other. So our lives, I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. So why do you have Dylan Klebold up, or whoever that guy is?
Well, I wanted to bring this up real quick because you and I had a conversation about it. I missed you guys last week, and I do apologize. My older daughter, who was with me for a couple, 3-4 weeks here this summer.
Your younger daughter.
The older one returned home to the Phoenix metropolitan area to be with her mother. And I don't mind saying she threw a big party and got herself in a lot of trouble. Mom wasn't home yet. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But you and I talked about this, and I was hoping to get a couple of opinions on it.
Wait. Before you even start, I'm going to predict what you want to say. But secondly, is your youngest daughter still with you?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes, sir.
And she's the one that wants to stay with you and live here.
Correct. The other one, I know, right? That's a good question. The other one's a senior. The other one's a senior in high school. She wanted to head back and graduate with her class. And, I told her a GED is not graduating anyway. So
Brett wants to know. Brett, I'm going to pull up Brett's thing here strong. Brett believes. Okay.
You guys remember the picture?
That he wears a weird tin hat and he believes eyeballs and stuff.
Okay, listen.
Brett thinks those two people are the same person.
Give me a second. Let me see if you can see this. This was the whole picture. This was one of those classic. I just want to show you guys this. Can you pull this up? And I don't know if it. Can you guys see this pretty clearly?
Yeah, we can see it. They're not the same person. I'm sorry.
No, but okay. I want you to see how. Okay, this is what I was bringing up. We always have these. The cops didn't draw a gun when they arrested this guy. There's a whole bunch fishy about it, but we'll leave this alone because this is. Has anybody heard about this lately? No. It's weird. It was big news, but it got awful quiet, awful fast, if you ask me. But if you look at the picture, how staged it is, by the way, including the framing of the picture, the lines down the back separating each shoulder. It's perfectly framed to the lines in the background. It's perfectly framed. You have a black guy, you got a white guy on his left, both cops. Now I want to bring back up that first picture that I had up there because I want you guys to notice something. If you look at a blow up of this, see the young kid cop in the background? It's the same face.
Yes, Brett, we see him.
You just clean it up. You mess the hair up a little bit differently. Look at the nose.
Nope.
Look at the lips.
Nose. Nope.
Look at the ears. No. The shadows are different. I'll give you that. He's got black around his eyes. This guy doesn't. It's been cleaned up. It's the same face. This is cut out. This is a fake picture. And I've messed around with Photoshop. Hours, hundreds of hours on Photoshop.
Don't you have a life? You should get a life.
Wait a minute. There's a video of this, and all three of them walk out with him. Those three will walk out together.
I'll tell you what, you can fake those two now. So.
Oh my God.
Brett, have you had a little bit to drink before the show?
No, it's not even that.
The shape of the face is completely. The shape of the face and the cheekbones are completely different.
No, because you can't define that from the picture, because if you look at the shadowing's all wrong. So I mean, if you look at the shadowing here, you can't define you cannot define the chin here. You can't define the chin.
Amy, what's that saying that you usually put on Facebook? Not the one I want to throat punch them, but the other one. Oh, that's it. You can't make this shit up. People actually believe what Brett believes. Well, I mean, not people, but Brett does.
You know what? It's going to be so nice someday when I'm vindicated and we find out we didn't go to the moon. 9/11, I think we all agree, is a bunch of bullshit. And of course, Sandy Hook was faked entirely. Not a single scene of a single child leaving that school. And there were like, what, 1,500 students there that day? Not one picture of a student leaving the building. You know, if you guys want to keep buying all this stuff, you know, and Hillary had nothing to do with Benghazi. Just keep believing that too. There you go.
Speaking of which, that looks like a great movie. For lack of a better term.
They already made a movie of this, and now Sierra's too young, but I think the rest of us might be able to remember a little bit. It's one called One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
You know, I'm just a short distance. I'm just a short distance from that particular establishment.
I know you are.
He just drive myself
down the road from there.
Yep, not too far away at all.
Bellevue. Is it called Bellevue?
No, it was. Well, they filmed it at the Salem, the State Mental Hospital here in Salem.
Right.
Now the whole wing where they filmed that movie has been raised, and they've actually put up the new facility, which is this ultra modern, basically jail for crazy people. It's actually quite a fantastic looking structure. Did, however, keep the main building, and I'll tell you what, from a historic standpoint, and actually it's a tourist destination, but really cool building. I mean, historic.
Okay. I wasn't going to do this, and I apologize, ladies, but since Brett started the show this way, we have a new sponsor, and I'm going to play part of the new sponsor, probably not the whole thing, but part of our new sponsor tonight, and then we'll actually get on to some real stuff.
Now for a commercial break.
Helping us pay the bills. Now these people, I'm hoping they end up paying well, but
we'll just send them a bill every week, see what happens.
Here, let me pull this up. Here's our new sponsor.
You realize we're going to cease and desist.
Oh God.
That's better. Feels good, doesn't it? You want to know the truth about your toilet? It's not helping you do what you go there to do. What you go there to do is number 2. Cavemen, Aborigines, American Indians, they all squatted. But then the Industrial Revolution came along. We got into our plumbing. We started sitting. It's a big mistake. In 1978, President Carter came down with a nasty case of hemorrhoids. He said it hurts to go. Me hurty.
I'm not going to play the whole commercial.
When a proctologist was asked what caused his nasty hemorrhoids,
this is true. This is a real commercial.
We weren't meant to sit on the toilet. We were meant to squat in the field. I say we get back to our roots. The Squatty Potty does just that.
This was on the Shark Tank.
By allowing you to use your home toilet, but in the squat position. It comes in 3 sizes depending on your toilet and preference, and it's easy to put away. You ever feel like...
Okay, that's enough.
It was on what?
That was on Shark Tank.
Oh, the Squatty Potty.
The Squatty Potty, and they laughed, but they ended up getting funded. One of the people gave them money, and now they do commercials, and if it's a real deal. If you go on Amazon.com, look up Squatty Potty, they're all over.
I have a friend who has one, and he absolutely swears by it, and it is the weirdest thing. He tried to get me to use it while I was out with him, and I was like, no.
But he carries
I would
it
rather hold it in than deal with. No, that's weird. That's awkward. Like,
wait a minute. Look, you're out at the bar, and he's like, "Hey, I brought it with me.
He brought it back in the truck.
Hey,
I don't go anywhere without
the restroom. It's right here, baby. I got the stool right here. Oh, and by the way, couldn't I just get like a small stool and put my feet up on it, and I don't know, save the money?
Or like hug your knees, like work on your core strength while you're there.
Or actually, in my case, just go out in my back. Actually squat. I'm just saying.
Well, you do live in Salem.
God. Getting back to nature.
God.
Getting back to nature.
I'm going to bring this up just for 1 second.
The dog and I could have competitions.
Speaking of going out in your backyard and
what the hell is
crap,
that?
I want to show you guys something. Do you know how you know, like you know, when you live in Redneckville, right?
Oh my God.
Not the fact that if I want to give people directions to my home, I say take a ride on Powell and go down about 8 garage sales. You'll pass 6 tire swings and you'll be at my house. Okay, that's when you know.
By the way,
when you really know, yeah. Okay, that's my fence. Not the first part, but the darker part. That's my outside fence on the street where I live. Free furniture sitting out on the frickin' street. Now, this is the 3rd time I've seen this in the last couple months, okay? And I walk in the house, and I go to Lisa, what in the frick? I said, I just got done yelling at one of the neighbors a month ago for putting free furniture out in our outside.
Don't be that guy, Jim.
No, it's better. Do you know what?
Some guy is going to drive by and he's really going to need a broken cabinet with only 2 functioning doors. Right, and who are you to take that away from him?
Do you want to know what's worse, Sierra? My son-in-law put that there. That's
So you're the redneck, right?
Oh my God! I said to Lisa, I go, they had a big garage sale that day. It was on Friday last week, and I come home and I'm looking and I'm going, what the fuck? So I went and I grabbed my camera because I'm like, grab my phone and I'm like, I'm walking up there on the street and I'm going to take a picture of this, post it on freaking Facebook along with a couple of others down on our streets that I've seen in the last week. Hey, you know when you're redneck. And Lisa goes, I go, can you believe what the hell is up there? She goes, oh, I know. She goes, Chris put it up there. I go, what? Because, well, we didn't sell it at the garage sale, and they just thought that if they could. So, do you ever freaking heard about Craigslist?
You know, I love it. Every time Jim makes a little snarky comment about this Salem area, I'm like, dude, you do live in Gresham. You realize that, right? Like,
you live in the land of free street furniture. You don't get to say anything.
By the way, it stays in Jim's neighborhood. It stays white out later. So.
Oh, that was bad. That was bad, Brett.
That was awful.
Wait, that went right over my head too.
It stays white out later.
I don't know, but I've got a mullet.
Never mind. Oh, jeez.
Very bad.
I've got a mullet. That's the 4 words that turn ladies on. That is not them.
No. And
it's the anti-Viagra. Hey, baby.
If you need to kill the mullet really fast, just say, hey, want to see my mullet?
Want to see my mullet?
No. And besides that, you want to know the very best form of birth control is?
What's that?
Something Jim has in his own house.
Crocs.
Those are not Crocs.
Yeah, they are. If you're a dude, see Crocs.
Oh my God, they're disguising them.
They're Croc-offs.
Actually, the Crocs have a whole line now. They have leather ones. They have really cute slip-on ones.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So now I have to check my shoes to make sure I'm not buying Crocs.
No, but if you're a dude and you go out to a bar and you're wearing Crocs, I'm sorry, but you're not going to pick up. You're not. It's the best form of birth control.
Unless she's pigeon-toed.
Okay.
Wow, Brett, that was just cruel.
Such.
Oh, that's an inside joke between Jim and I. Anyway.
All right. So, she's actually it's the opposite, but
whatever. I just take anybody who talk to me.
What do you guys think about Cecil? This is supposedly a massive story that's growing and growing, and I heard Buck Sexton talk about it today. I wasn't going to, but I just thought, well, what do you guys think?
I got two sets. Just okay. We're not talking about baby parts and Planned Parenthood. No, but I mean, just in general, the country's not really focused on the amazing travesty that Planned Parenthood has always been.
But they're focused on this.
Right. This is, we are going to go after this dentist. Oh, we're going to get him. Oh, he's a bad person. Now, I will say this. Don't like what he did personally. I don't think I'd go shoot a lion. Not my style. He didn't do anything illegal.
What do you think, Amy?
Yes, he did. They did everything illegal, actually. It's not. This isn't the whole story. They actually went and they tied a carcass on the end of their truck and lured Cecil out of the conservation land, and then shot him with a bow and arrow. And then 40 hours later, found him and shot him and killed him.
And did a shitty job shooting him with an arrow.
Let me ask you this: did they go after Cecil, or did they just go after a game animal?
He had a collar.
He claims he didn't know, but the two guys, his two guides, have already been arrested because they said they did know and he did know. So he's in hiding. They're trying to find him in Zimbabwe or whatever the hell he is. I mean, my 2 cents on the whole thing is, I could never just go out and hunt just to kill a big game animal. That's, to me, I don't get it. It doesn't turn me on, doesn't do anything for me. It's kind of grosses me out. If I had to do it to live, if I had to do it to live, then obviously I would have to do that. But just to go out and...
You answered my question, though. I was like, hypothetically, you're sitting around the campfire and that lion comes out and takes your child and kills it and eats it.
No. Amy said, I'm not going to go out and big game hunt, not defend herself.
If somebody's attacking me, it's dead. You know what I mean? I'm shooting. But at first they were just saying, oh, I just thought it was the lion that we went there to hunt, and now it turns out
that lion
they all knew
was living on a protected area, and that's where they lured him from. What do you think, Sarah?
It was against the law for them to take.
Land. It was private land.
Sierra, what do you think?
Private land.
No, they lured him onto private land. Sierra, what do you think?
Off the conservation onto private land.
Okay.
I love cats. So I don't understand what he did, but in the grand scheme of things, this is
so much.
Under the bottom of my list of shit about which I feel like I need to be concerned. It sucks. But I mean, we have problems at home to deal with. I'll mourn the loss of that really cute kitty later. Can we clean house before we go and worry about what other people are doing? And Mia Farrow, I guess, tweeted out the address of this dentist.
Yeah.
Just quickly, but I mean, why?
Well,
what is that going to do?
I think the fact that he's an American, first of all, so that they're looking at that. But secondly, what he did was illegal under Zimbabwe law. Period. So.
Well, yeah, extradite him to Zimbabwe.
And he's there. I think he's there in hiding. I
personally don't care. Obviously, if what he did was illegal, he needs to face jail time for it. But this should not be the 24/7 news that it is. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I know. I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you. There's bigger fish to fry in the whole grand scheme of things. This just happened to be a favorite.
Okay.
If this just happened to be that whole area's favorite lion, people went to see him. He was actually nurturing 6 lion cubs. It's the whole thing, and they're not usually with those big game hunts. This is what a lot of people don't understand. They have to be, first of all, they have to be sanctioned by the government, and then they have to go to the preserves. It costs thousands. This guy paid $55,000 to go and shoot, and they're usually taking down, whether it's the giraffes or the water buffalo or the lions. They're the ones that that are sick, dying. They're gonna die a slow, brutal death.
So it's even more. They're luring out the weak and the frail and.
They're trying. Well, yeah. I mean, in reality, that's what nature would do. But I mean, if you're gonna, if it's a way to get money to keep the conservation going, to keep the young and healthy surviving in a habitat that's slowly dying.
If we're talking about,
I don't condone it. I would never do it myself. I'm just saying the money that usually the sanctioned ones, this money was gonna, was going towards the conservation. He just happened to be a scumbag and wanted to take a lion that wasn't an old frail lion, and they put a spotlight on him.
If we're talking about what
they put a spotlight on him, and just made him disoriented.
If we're talking about what nature would do, he wouldn't have had a collar. He wouldn't have been on a preserve because they wouldn't exist.
Yeah, no, I know that, but
preserves don't exist.
That's irrelevant.
Artificial nature.
Right, man-made nature, and therefore we understand better, and then when something like this happens, everybody's surprised. And I guess, listen, I don't agree with it, Amy. I'm not. I would rather pet that thing than see it dead. Believe me. I mean, I don't want to bite my arm off while I'm doing it, but I would. I mean, if there were a way to, I'm just saying. I think it's weird how much.
I think they look at the Cecil the lion like we would look at our pet, our dog. So if someone came into your yard and just decided to shoot your dog because they wanted to kill an animal that
I just thought of an analogy. I just thought of an analogy. I went out and shot Smokey the Bear.
You what?
I just went out and shot Smokey the
Well,
Bear.
actually, that
it's deeper than that.
I mean, honestly,
that dentist actually was fined for shooting a black bear illegally in the United States. He's a scumbag. He's a scumbag. You know what I mean?
But it's deeper than that,
I honestly don't think the media even gives a shit about this lion. I think they're clinging to the story and reporting it to flood out the stories of the third Planned Parenthood video. And I was listening to the guy on Dana, and he said there are at least 12 more videos to come. So that's what they're going to do. Is they're going to take some minute story and they're going to blow it up and they're going to make it big to the touchy-feely progressive left who are going to take this and scream about it. Meanwhile, babies are being slaughtered and sold like commodities, and no, they don't want anybody to hear about it.
Yeah, they said something about like there was never any outcry when Mogami went out and shot the lion just as a as a birthday present, or ate the baby hippo. And so I get that. I'm not a total freak about killing animals.
Let me ask you this: are you guys seeing? I mean, the formula Sierra was just talking about, because there is this multimedia formula right now where some major stuff, important stuff, Benghazi. I mean, a lot of this stuff is just being ignored. I mean, these are stories that should be at the forefront, and yet they're pushed back. I mean, we're going to hear more about that lion than we will about what Jim's got up on the screen right now, and I think we can all admit that. And I think that's a really, really weird thing when you start to recognize the formula that they use to get you to, hey, look over here, look over at the left hand, look at the left hand, look at the left hand, and the right hand going.
The right hand, when Clinton started bombing Kosovo and all of that, as soon as they were bringing him into Congress and stuff to talk about the blue dress. I mean, let's get it off the front page and talk about this. But yeah, so the 3 videos have come out. The I could not watch. All I could do is listen to the description of what was going on in there, because I couldn't watch. I mean, they were talking about, hey, there's a pair of kidneys. Hey, that's 5 stars. I mean, it's just sick. It's evil.
I gotta tell you, I read a book. Actually, I might even have it right here. I read a book, and it talks about turn of the century. It's here somewhere. I'll look for it.
What does green eggs and ham have to do with this?
Well, at the turn of the century. Do you remember, like the movie or the stories about like the Elephant Man and stuff? And all of a sudden, you saw the rise of these giant classrooms, or all the doctors are up there and they're looking down and they're using people as guinea pigs, and with charts and all this kind of crap, and like bringing forward the Elephant Man, and they're showing how he's an oddity and all this kind of crap. Well, it's like around that time, right before the World War I, they started to get away from actually healing people. That just became like, okay, that's a bonus, but everything went more scientific. So they're like it's all more scientific than anything else. So this doesn't surprise me from that industry. I've said from day one, they could give a rat's ass. And I'm not just talking about everyday doctors. Obviously, everyday doctors, they might actually care about your health. But the whole medical field and the pharmaceutical companies, they could give a rat's ass. It's all science. It's all money. They could care less if they find a cure. They've already got the cure for cancer. I think we all agree on that one.
Right.
They're not gonna lose their funding.
Talk about conspiracy theory, and I agree with you. I honestly think
conspiracy.
They could cure it tomorrow if they chose to release the cure. I agree with that, absolutely.
Not going to put a $1 billion industry out of business.
Right.
No, Cancer Institute of America, those commercials, we've all seen them, like late night, early evenings, I mean, in the mornings, and it's just like, and the tears are rolling, and I found a place that could, companies have so much power. Do you think they're going to relinquish it to a shot?
And people who have cancer or know someone with cancer think that you're like, they like get so offended because when you say something like that, because they're like, how dare you? Like, because you're telling me that my doctor or this industry is allowing my child to die like this, to rot from the inside out, just for money. I'm like, I'm sorry to say, but
what's the industry allowed my dad to die? He did.
What's even more disturbing about that topic is not only do I believe they have a cure, I also believe they know the causes. And that is even more disturbing.
They put the causes into our food.
Absolutely correct.
Into our food, and into our water, and into our atmosphere. I mean, I don't.
Correct.
They even said like those, like all of those.
Do you believe in chemtrails?
I see them all the time, so I
know, right?
I saw the look on Sierra's face. Go, Sierra, go. No, let Sierra respond to this one because she immediately...
Before she responds, let me just say this. I don't know if chemtrails are real or not. They've been around for 70 years, according to some reports. But I just, it wouldn't surprise me if I found out they were actually doing it, something like that. Just put it that way.
Sierra.
I see, when I hear somebody say chemtrails, I think about some hippie running around with their hair on fire screaming, global warming, chemtrails! I can't take anybody who says chemtrails seriously. And it's not even, like, I've read some of the research on it, and it just sounds as bogus to me as global warming. Well, I'm not saying that it's impossible that it's happening. I'm saying that I haven't seen enough factual evidence to make me believe that it is happening.
Atmospheric control, and they did this. China did it to try and control the weather in the Olympic Games when they had them in
Brett is
Beijing
further.
or whatever.
Brett is proof. Brett is proof. It's already started to work in Idaho.
Oh, good point.
Right?
I see what you did there.
I see right there. I see what you're doing. Yes, I get that.
Hey,
now, again, I don't know if that's real or not. It would not surprise me if we found out it was.
At this point, you would be really hard-pressed to find something that the government's doing that is evil or malicious. That would not surprise me.
Right.
At this point, it's to be expected.
Listen, somebody has an agenda, and the agenda always follows the money. And it's just...
follow the money. Now,
it's the cliche, but it's true. It really is.
Speaking of following, have you guys saw any of Palin, the kid? What's her name?
Bristol.
Some of her tweets lately is taken after her mom, and I kind of dig it in a way because, like, look at this one, okay? I really have a lot of respect for the younger generation, the millennials, who are smart and ballsy. And
we've got
generally speaking, I like most of them, but no, just kidding.
He's using Bristol Palin as like, I will get pregnant and have a baby with any guy that I want. I will have several fathers for my children.
But see, I don't care about that. To do. No, and I honestly don't care about that. She could have 18 kids with no fathers for all I care, but I love the fact that she's ballsy.
Test tube babies?
I was going to say.
Sure.
Test tube babies? Is that what you said?
No, she should be lauded by the left. You don't need a man to raise your children, blah, 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 but she's not because she's a Palin.
This was a tweet that she had. This is let's see here. Which one was it? So Palin says, by the way, Universal Pictures, how do you feel about Planned Parenthood co-opting your cute little yellow creatures to defend harvesting and selling of dead baby parts, she asked. Palin added, I bet those children that never got to draw a breath would have really loved the chance to see the Minions movie. That's ballsy. I
saw that tweet, and the first thing I thought was, how dare they use a child's movie when they are for the systematic extermination of children before they become viable human beings.
Right, and
that is just disgusting and arrogant.
Very arrogant, and that's their tweet right there was, hey friends who stand with PP, stay strong. The anti-abortion minions want to bully us into silence. That's not happening. Well,
we're anti-abortion.
I lost a couple, which is fine with me. Okay, I lost a couple of high school friends who were Facebook friends because last year I was saying that there was pro-abortion and pro-life because they want to call it anti-abortion or whatever, and they go, we're not pro-abortion, we're pro-choice. And I said, pro-choice. I said, it's pro-abortion. No, we're not pro-abortion. And I'm like, yeah. So now,
Jim,
now they're calling it the anti-abortion.
How come their choice never involves adoption, though?
Right.
Like, they're either, okay, keep your baby, you pathetic little mommy, or you can go get an abortion and have your life back. They never say, okay, adoption's also great.
Right.
Well, by the way, I agree with that. But I will say this, and Jim, you've heard me say this before, and actually, Amy, maybe Sarah hasn't said it while you've been on, but I continue to put my stance here. I will never find myself raped and pregnant. I will never find myself
Brett,
in a
none of us are saying that abortion is wrong in every instance. Like you're trying to say, you're making justification for rape or whatever.
No. I'll go farther. If a woman chooses to use it as a form of birth control, again, I have a very hard time as somebody who will never face that situation telling that woman what she can and do. I'm sorry, I can't. And listen, Amy, if Amy and Sierra want to duke it out, if they had differing opinions on the topic, if they want to talk about it as women in our culture, I think that's fine, and I would support one side or the other. But I'm not going to invoke my. I'm not going to shoot a doctor because he does it.
Nobody's going to shoot a doctor. Basically, you're a cuckold, and your wife got tired of you, and you're just a cuckold in all relationships and all things that.
Well, I think you're going too far there. I think that's actually kind of mean. I do. I'm not.
When was that cuckold?
I get it.
Cuckold.
I don't know how to say it.
I'm holding my cock right now, but that's a whole different topic. That's a different topic.
I'm not usually
Remember the no pants thing?
I'm not usually reading when I'm looking at that stuff. Just kidding. I don't know how to spell it, and I don't look at it. But I do know that it's a man who...
Jim just typed hashtag cuckle-doodle-doo. What the hell is that?
So let's move on because Brett's going to make me mad. Just kidding.
Don't die.
Hey, so I stole somebody's sign and turned it into our own the other day. This was on the left side, this was a flag. What do you call the South? The Confederate flag? And
the Confederate flag.
Yeah.
Look it.
Yay!
There you
I
go.
love it.
And the sign said, which one of these groups represents somebody who has killed 90,000 blacks or whatever, right? Let's Planned Parenthood. But then I thought, you know what? With all this crap going on, I'm going to put a police thing up there. Because I got thinking about this Black Lives Matter and O'Malley apologizing. It's like throw up already.
That was a disgrace. He should freaking crawl under a rock.
Yeah. All of them who believe that should crawl under a rock. The blacks,
he doesn't believe it. He just was kidding. He's an appeasing piece of shit.
Absolutely correct.
But from what I'm hearing down from a friend in Maryland, he's very, very popular and he's gaining a lot of momentum.
Hitler was popular among a lot of idiots too. So I mean, there's that.
You mean he's popular amongst the progressives?
In Maryland, and anyone who's wowed by someone taking off their shirt and pretending to be something they're not.
Can you guys imagine? Can you guys imagine what it would have been like? What it would have been like going into because we have elections coming up. We've already got a whole bunch of people jumping into the quote-unquote race for positioning, and we're going to vote as though that mattered. It seems, but. Can you imagine what it would have been like back in, say, I don't know, let's go back to 19 something or other, early 1900s. I mean, when it took like 4 days for a story to get from New York to San Francisco, you know, and then it hit the papers there.
Yeah.
Splintered on me today. You know, we have this incident. I mean, hell, we're broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube, and we have our opinions on all this stuff. What must the world have been like back then? I mean, this is the most genius deception of the of humanity. This whole internet thing that we're on right now. I'm perplexed. Because it's splintering. You don't even have time to think about your opinion because you're getting hit so fast with the new one.
We don't have enough time to think or say our opinion because you won't shut the fuck. Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Shots fired.
I
would pay to see a Jello wrestling match between Jim and Brett.
I love Brett. Brett would sit on me and I would die.
Honestly, though, if we could raise money for charity, I would wrestle Jim and Jello.
Here's the thing.
I would wrestle Jim and Jello if we got to raise money.
That would raise way more money.
I need to make $5.
And he would be divorced, and he would be living with me.
That's what I mean.
Let's put everybody who puts money on Jim, that money goes to Planned Parenthood, and everybody who puts money on me, it goes to a pro-life group.
Oh, shit. Do you know how easy it would be for you to beat me, to win?
Wow. Oh, well.
You could dislocate my hip in about 2 seconds.
Yeah, I could sneeze on you, and you would fall over and break something.
I know. You know my lower back is fused.
Make sure you take your osteoporosis medicine.
Here's all Sierra would have to do to break Jim and win the fight is this, right? Ready? Okay, ready?
Whatever. Whatever. Hey,
you fall backwards and shatter your spine.
Let me show you one thing really quick because this is going to lead into another story, and then that story is going to lead right into the old whatever she's talking about, making fun of me with osteoporosis. It's going to lead right into that.
By the way, Jim, do you know what osteoporosis is?
No.
I know it's got more than 3 letters, so it's going to be hard for you. But
thank you. So
it's part of the time zone equation.
I have been pimping the show. Some people would say trolling. I would say pimping the show because whenever
I don't know which of those terms is actually better.
I know. Whenever I make a meme or do something like I stole half of this one and then made up the other one for myself, I always put on there, that is our link to our show. I changed it so that it's easy to find now. It's actually facebook.com/theblastwebcast.com. So if you ever wanted to share it, that's it right there. And so I'm adding...
You can send all of us a link. We can share it with everybody that we know on Facebook. My 3 friends would love to have the link.
All you would really need to do is go to our page and hit copy, and then paste. But whatever.
Wait, that's a lot of work. I don't know about this whole
now you're getting into no, you just can't do it. That's higher matter.
Copy and paste thing. What are you talking about?
So earlier today, I don't know if Amy saw this or not, but Amy, are you willing to say your age on camera or no?
She's 32. Shut up, fucker.
How old are you, Amy?
I'm 50.
Okay, thank you. So
you are
Amy,
not. Wait a minute. You
Amy,
are not.
No, she's not. But
Amy, I'm coming hardcore with a compliment right here, and I mean this. No way.
I'm the big 5'0", in March.
She doesn't look 50. She just acts like it.
Jim,
wait, what's that mean?
Excuse me.
I'm 53. I'm 53.
You rat bastard! Don't tell me I act 50.
Yeah, rat bastard.
Amy, Sierra. Okay, so I was trolling or pimping, and whenever I make a comment lately on people's, when I know that they've got a lot of followers, I always say, even if we're not going to, yeah, we're going to talk about that on The Blast tonight,
right?
And it hits the link, right? Because I'm
absolutely.
So see where it's circled there?
Yeah.
If anybody actually clicked on it, it would go right to our page.
Right.
So Julie Borowski said, when old people agree with you, it's so nice to see young people, or when old people agree with you, oh, that's what it is. Somebody else read that.
it's so nice to see people interested in politics or whatever. And then when you disagree, it's like, who cares what young people think?
Right. So I put on there, when young people agree with old people, it's, wow, I love your wisdom and appreciate what you've just taught me. But when young people disagree with old people, it's, you're so out of touch with the times, and you're probably even borderline senile too. Then I added in there, and our millennial, very smart millennial, Sierra Marley,
much credit,
blah, blah. And I said I was going to ask you about that because we're all old people compared to you, which you're like Julie Borowski,
everybody's
a young person.
Old compared to me. I'm a fetus.
She's like, here's the fetus of the show.
Flopping around.
I'm actually over here like texting, like replying to comments on stuff while you're talking. So that is like the epitome of millennialism.
That's multitasking. Do not sell yourself short, young lady. It's multitasking. That's what I call it. I've been texting for pizza for the last half hour.
I would love pizza.
So what I'm wondering is, now that I think about it, has Sierra ever yet agreed with Amy, me, or Brett about anything?
All at once?
Well, at any time. I don't think you have.
Wait a minute.
You laugh at us. You laugh at us as being a bunch of dumb old people.
No, I laugh next to you. I do not. Well, no, okay,
you
I
speak for yourself there, darling. I'm the cool aunt. I'm the cool coworker. I'm cool.
Yeah.
I would have a beer with Amy. That you two, not so much.
Not so much. Yeah, that's because they'd be drooling on you and stuff.
If I didn't have my glasses on, you could see I'm almost crying. I'm tearing up.
You know what's funny about that is, no, you'd have a beer with us, and then you wake up and go, where the fuck am I? Oh, my God. They slipped something in my goddamn drink.
Now, don't go using
if I have to end up in one more sex dungeon.
All right. What?
Oh Nothing. Wind up in one more sex. That's awesome. That is hilarious.
Right. If I had a nickel, okay, yeah, no, but I do.
Every time I wake up
in a sex dungeon, yeah,
I'd have enough money to pay for my own beer.
God.
Is the nickel back?
So while I was trolling or pimping today. I made a comment. I was the first person to comment on the. Do you guys know who? What's it? Nate Silver.
Yeah.
Okay, Nate Silver has 538, which he is a genius when it comes to numbers and statistics and all of that. And so he was talking about here. Donald Trump is the Nickelback of GOP candidates. Nickelback is the group that nobody admits to liking. And they hate them. But,
I love Nickelback, by the way.
Yeah,
I love Nickelback. I went to a Nickelback concert, actually. Okay. And I always tell people, because I was like, hey, I went to a Nickelback concert. You did.
By the way, you know, the beautiful
thing. And My Darkest Days were opening, so.
And everyone listens to their songs, though, and loves them.
Mm-hmm.
You know Nickelback. Every word to their song, especially the song Photograph. Exactly. Everybody knows every word to that song. I don't care who you are.
Well, and
everybody knows every word to Barbie Girl, and nobody says that it's their favorite song.
Right, but his point was that Trump has this small group of people that are diehards, like you are right now talking about Nickelback. That small group of diehards, and then the other group that all love their songs, but yet don't claim to like Nickelback.
Oh, no, people hate Nickelback.
Right.
No, yeah. I can see that. That actually makes sense.
Thanks.
That bigger? So let me try to make that
bigger. I don't know how Jindal is polling above Trump.
Well, see, we're talking about.
Instagram.
You're gonna get us kicked off the show, you know.
You're gonna get our YouTube blocked. Brett.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is not
the song. That's a parody. It's in.
Oh Jesus! All right. So what this is?
Okay, everybody, I have to leave. This has gone south.
But this is the favorables. Okay, he is 13 out of 16. Donald Trump, down in, he like has the biggest unfavorable number, but yet he's the first choice for. So they were wondering, well, how the hell does this happen? And so I'm going to bring up a question here that was proposed about that. Let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of Pimpin. Pimpin 2.
You're too old to be saying it without the G.
How are you supposed to say it?
You are to say it pimping.
Pimpin.
Oh, pimping.
Pimpin. You got to say pimping.
I can't say pimpin'.
No.
You cannot. You cannot. You
Sorry.
cannot. You wear glasses. You cannot say pimpin'.
Shit. Sorry. Can I say fitty?
No.
No. Nobody's allowed to say that. I don't care who you are, what color you are. You just sound stupid.
So
not even Fitty can say Fitty anymore because he claimed bankruptcy. So anyway.
So the reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm gently suggesting that if you guys ever wanted to like pimping the show, that this is just a thought. Okay. So I put on there because I thought his analysis was spot on when it comes to numbers, but understanding the underlying reason why for those numbers could be tricky. So my analysis is that, and I said, of course, I'm going to be talking about this on the blast tonight, that Donald may not be the most likable, but he's the most respected. And Trader Rubio might be the most likable, but he's the least respected. And people will vote for who they respect over who they like. And then some guy kind of made fun of me there. He goes, you think Trump is the most respected? The dislike for him is heavily tied to disrespect. So what do you guys think? I think he's respected because he doesn't take bullshit. He's respected because he doesn't cower to these people. That's what I mean by respect.
Oh, absolutely. People like his style, even if they don't necessarily like his stances on certain things or say, oh, he was for this, he gave money to Hillary. They appreciate a human being who can be in the political arena and not be politically correct. They can agree with him that, you know what, yeah, we need to make America great again, but maybe you're not the right guy for that job necessarily. He's got the right way of doing things, the right way of speaking, because he conducts press conferences like he conducts boardroom conferences, and he does not take any shit from any reporters. He does not. He just doesn't. So we need that type of behavior in a candidate who is more politically savvy, who has an ideal track record, maybe not perfectly ideal, but who has a decent track record for our side, and just that would be like the bomb candidate.
Well, think about it. Think about it like this: it's like, Amy, you don't like Donald Trump. I'm not big. I don't dislike him, but I don't like him either. He was a.
I like that he's in the race, and I like that he's firing up the base.
Well,
he's just not president. He's just not my president.
Yes. See, now listen. Listen. How long have most of us? I mean, if it was a Democratic candidate that was just saying it how it is, I would be like, okay, I'm glad to hear it. Because if we had even if there was a Democrat that was actually looking at the issues and just saying like, you know what, this PD stuff, we're all too afraid to say what we think. It's like, how many politicians, they're pandering to your vote. I'm not going to do that. What does Donald Trump have to lose? He's going to spend a whole bunch. He's going to spend a whole bunch of his money and a whole bunch of his time and effort and I would give the man credit for this. He will not win the presidency. That would be my guess. I would lay down in Vegas right now. He will not win. But if he can freaking change the playing field, if he can make people, if he can make the real, and I'm not talking politicians. I'm talking those guys have to go. We all agree. I mean, Republican, Democrat, those assholes sit behind closed doors and laugh at us. Boehner, fuck him. I'm tired of it. And you see somebody like the Donald coming out and going like, oh, did I say something wrong yesterday? I don't care. I don't care.
What's kind of funny is Ted Cruz's book talks, supposedly, I haven't read it, but is all about what you just said, what goes on behind closed doors, but yet he's not getting the recognition that he's saying the same shit as Donald Trump is, but he's not getting that kind of recognition. What do you think?
Because he doesn't have the dynamic that, I mean, right now Trump is that's another issue I have with him. He's for lack of a better term, he's another Obama in that respect. It's all
he's a very polarizing speaker.
Yeah, you know, it's very all the pizzazz, the bells and whistles, and you know.
I'll tell you this though. I think if you were to drink Trump's Kool-Aid and he somehow got elected, I don't think that he would get into the White House and completely do a flip-flop. I don't think he would. I think he would.
I don't know. I mean, he was
American people. I said I was going to do this. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah. Well, that's my problem with Trump in general. He's a businessman, so whatever's good for business is what he's gonna the way the wind's gonna flow with him.
The United States could use a good businessman right now, though. I'll tell you that.
But not one that just in 2011 was gifting $100 million to Obama. By 2011, we knew what Obama was.
Where the hell is Ron Perot?
Trump was. I'm just saying, Trump was going to give him a $100 million gift. You don't do that when you think the guy's a traitor or that you think the guy's bad for the country.
I think about Trump the way I think about Ben Carson. He'd be great in a cabinet position. He would be great as the head of some sort of division of government, some sort of branch of the government.
Vice president.
Secretary of State.
Just
let him
not
go and tell these people bite me. I don't care what we don't do it.
It's not that I don't like him. I think his particular skill set, like Carson's skill set, is better suited in a different arena. Right. Now, they're good guys. They're both hella smart. They just may not be the best president. So, like, put Ben Carson in charge of the NIH or whatever, and he'll know what to do because he's a medical genius. Put Trump in charge of the Senate, and he'll whip those fuckers into order, and you know he will.
I love Ben Carson. I think he's great, but
I do too.
I gotta tell you, if you want a world on Prozac, natural Prozac,
right?
All you have to do is listen to him speak.
He doesn't get fired up about anything, and I think that's what the American people want. I mean, and we obviously want a guy who is like very soft-spoken, who isn't gonna like go out and like Obama does, just every other day rip into Republicans or whatever. But we need a guy who is, once you cross him, like Ted Cruz when he called Lindsey Graham out. That's what we need.
Or Mitch McConnell. Did you see he called out Mitch McConnell?
Yeah,
called him a liar.
And
He's been waiting for this.
I'm telling
That's
you,
what we
Cruz
need.
is standing on his own. He's standing by himself in our entire Congress.
Yeah.
And, you know, everybody's like, oh, what about Reagan's 11th commandment? Like, you know, don't speak ill of fellow Republicans. I call crap on that. And I think what Cruz is doing by being respected and being respectable to the different candidates, Donald Trump, everybody in the race is saying bad things about Trump. Cruz is like, I admire his vigor, I admire his zeal, you know, and I think he's setting the bar a little higher for the Republican candidates as far as honesty goes, as far as bluntness and non-political correctness goes.
I had a friend on Facebook today who is she doesn't want to lean liberal, but she does, and she falls into the trap every time. But she said she would vote for Hillary over Donald Trump any day, and I'm like, you know, if you would actually say that you would choose over him, you obviously, and that concerns me about the liberals right now.
Late-term abortion, anybody?
Yeah.
What about it?
I'm just saying she's making a good case.
Platform.
But because of Rand Paul, they are actually now going to vote on it before they go to recess. Not late term, but funding Planned Parenthood, which is significant.
Yeah.
How is it that people? And by the way, you know, we're into the politic portion of the show tonight, and I would really like to know. And you guys all probably have liberal hacks hitting your web page or your Facebook pages and all that. And I just. Who are these people? Yes, because you just freaking act. So as soon as they're like, you're chopping them down.
You're one of them.
You're done. You're done. This love for Hillary because she is, I mean, literally the only reason is because she's a female. And I'm not saying
Mrs. Bill Clinton. That is her legacy.
But if you want a female,
the lady behind the man behind the blue dress.
If you're going to vote only because of female, then Carly Fiorina, what's her name? Fiorina would probably be a pretty damn good candidate overall. I mean, she's saying a lot of smart things.
Listen,
she does not get a lot of media time, but she is smart as a whip.
Cookie.
Anybody but Hillary, for God's sakes. I mean, even you liberals can't be that blind, and yet over and over again I see them be that, and it astounds me.
There's a guy.
I've told people
that's where the mental disorder comes in.
I agree, and I think
truly are mentally.
There's a guy who asked us a question if we would talk about this on tonight's show, and this came from that first part that I just showed you about 35-8 and everything, and my response, and then the response back. So this guy, Nilly Willy, said who he'd vote for, because I was curious. I said to this guy who said that to me, I'm like, so I was polite. I'm like, so who would you vote for? And my thinking was, in asking that question, was if he said Jeb Bush or somebody, then I know that this guy's a Trump hater because he's an establishment guy. But no, he said probably Rand Paul. So I'm like, all right, well, that's cool, because that tells me that you're not an establishment guy. You're actually a thinker. So you just don't happen to like Trump at all, but you're a thinker. So this Nilly Willy says to me, who you'd vote for is uninteresting and pointless, like, right now. I'd like to know if your The Blast web show will address what he's asking. Number one, and so this is for a question for you guys, will people actually vote for who they respect over who they don't like? And number two, can you be disliked or distrusted enough to overcome whatever respect people may have for you? I'd like to hear that included in your show. I don't understand that, but again, I don't understand where.
Well,
I
get
what he's asking.
My take on that is,
Jim, let the smart. Jim, let the smart.
In the middle of telling us.
Smart people take this one, Jim.
Thank you.
Okay.
I defer.
And this is going to sound strange, but I do respect like radical Muslims and liberals in one respect. They stay true to their, you know what I mean? I can respect them because they, as whacked as they are, they stay true to their Pied Piper, line. They don't deviate from that. And
you know who they are.
You know who they are. You know that's who they're always going to be, and you know which way they're going to vote, or you know which way they're going to go. You know, if you run into ISIS, they're not sitting down eating cookies and brownies with you. You're going to hear the Hassan chop. You know what I mean? So I can, like I said, it sounds strange. I can respect that they stick to their principles, even though I think they are very evil, as opposed to people on our side who are saying, oh, yes, vote for us, we'll take back the White House, we'll take back the Senate, we'll take back, and then we'll get things changed, we'll defund Obamacare, and then as soon as they get it, they crumble like a house of cards.
What's going on? What's going on in this?
You know what I'm saying? So I would not vote for someone who I just respect if they have nothing behind it, or if I don't believe in their platform.
What is going on in the Senate and this House today? I mean, we have a Republican control, and what have we gained? What have conservatives gained since the American people spoke and voted out? I mean, listen, it may have been close in some races, but here we are, what, a year later?
But you know what?
A year later?
We talked about this before, Brett. We voted as a group. We voted in cronies.
Boner's tan is better.
Right, but what does Amy say?
We voted in cronies. So yes, they were the same Republicans, same old. All the Tea Party, with the exception of like Ted Cruz and the Walker and Marco Rubio, you had very few of the true conservatives being voted in. We went back to Mitch
voted
McConnell.
Against Democrats. We didn't vote for conservatives.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So you got the same old. McConnell, you know, bonehead. You had the same idiots in power, just in a different position.
Yep.
That was our problem. When I saw half of those results, I was like, you'd be kidding me. These people didn't, they actually won again? How did that happen? They're the absolute worst. They're the absolute worst, and they get voted in again.
But it is indicative of a trend, and that trend is that people are getting sick of the Democrats and the liberals and their shit, which means if we can actually put up a true conservative candidate, or at least one who isn't like Democrat light, who isn't like John McCain, Lindsey Graham, whomever,
Rubio,
then we actually have a chance at winning. Because if we're willing to say, you know what, I'm going to vote for anybody but a Democrat, that we can use that to our benefit. I'm not saying it's always a good thing, as we've seen, because our Congress, our Republican-controlled Congress, has done nothing for us. But I'm saying we can use that sort of anger and that sort of hatred to our advantage, kind of the way that the Democrats did against Bush, which got Obama elected.
That's what I was trying to say with my example earlier. Is, you know, I'm talking to this liberal, you know, I would never vote for Trump just because he's Trump. I would take Hillary over him any day, in spite of the fact that she had, or has admittedly had, she has illegal servers. She's obviously been talking behind the American people's back, Benghazi, and not to mention just all the other BS that comes along with Hillary Clinton. She flip-flops better than I'll give credit for that. But that's the whole point, is if you're just voting for somebody because it's not thing, it's like, holy cow, what does that say about all of us? What does it say about all of us?
It's just as bad as voting for somebody based on their gender, their skin color, their sexual orientation, whatever. If you're just voting against them and you don't take the time to study the platform, what they believe, you know, check their voting record, listen to their speeches, you're just as misinformed as the people who are saying, I'm voting for Hillary because she's a girl.
We need a woman. It's a thing. Well, okay, well, maybe we do.
They go vaginas.
To finish up here on Nilly Willy's question.
I love vaginas. Oh, sorry. Was that not appropriate for the...
That was awkward.
Different context.
My 21-year-old niece...
I'm sorry, I thought we were praising something else. Anyway.
My 21-year-old niece, she just turned 21, and she had some sort of vaginal surgery about something, or what, I don't know what the hell it was.
I'm sure she's very glad that.
She called me about 2 weeks ago when she was on drugs, because she knows that about a year ago I had like half my prostate taken out for some god-awful unknown reason. So I did that. And so she knows about the catheter issues and crap like that I had to go through. So she calls me, and she's drugged up, and she goes, oh, Uncle Jim, when is the pain going to go away? When is this going to stop? And she's all drugged up and stuff. But so she's like, I'm sorry. She goes, I don't have a filter. I'm not embarrassed by all this stuff. So then she says, when I'm all healed up, and I'm going to get a vagina cake, you know, like for her 21st birthday. Like, I've never even heard of such a thing. Really?
Please tell me it's not vagina flavored cake. It's just going to kind of look like the vagina.
So that could
see, when you say vagina cake,
that could either taste like tuna fish, or it could taste really good. I don't know. What are we talking here?
That's pretty gross.
You've heard the old joke. Hey, my girlfriend got a tattoo of a seashell in her thigh, and every time I put my ear up to it, I could smell the ocean.
Oh, great.
Is she 14 and not into actually, bathing yet, or what?
Oh my gosh. Let's finish.
Brett only dates hippies that smell like tuna. He has to be able to smell you from across the store before he even thinks about asking for your name.
That's how I know you're there.
Brett, aren't you pretty close to Eugene?
I'm closer than you are. The wafting up the valley is definitely.
I'm not even kidding. Yeah. Both of you.
It's like it smells like weed and clams in Salem.
Right.
That's all
Let's
I can
just say this. Amy and Sierra, do you both have your computers with you where you can actually open a separate window? I want you to do this for 1 second. Type in.
No, I'm doing this for my phone.
Okay, type in the women of Eugene, Oregon.
Don't do it.
And then go to images.
It's a trap.
No, then go to images. Go to images.
You know what's going to shoot out of your phone? Armpit hair and leg hair.
We're not kidding.
Do it.
My niece is one of the ones that moved up to Portland for a while. She doesn't.
Okay, there's a hot chick with a longboard, a hot chick in a corset, a hot chick in lingerie. I'm not saying any armpit hair or dreadlocks.
What? Eugene, Oregon.
Yeah, there's hot chicks everywhere. I'm not saying one armpit hair.
No. That's my friend Eugene. His last name happens to be Oregon.
I actually do see it. It looks like a guy with man.
Let's try Eugene, Oregon hippie.
Yes, which is like 90% of them.
Oh, that's a whole nother. Yeah. That's a whole other page, by the way.
90% of the people.
What is this?
My God!
This is Eugene, Oregon. Keep Oregon weird.
You actually scared me when you yelled like a total jump scare moment because I was staring so intently at these fucking hippies and their fucking dreadlocks.
Yeah, that's Eugene. You're on the Eugene page now.
There you go.
Oh God, that's disgusting.
It's the University of Oregon. Hey,
welcome to Pretentious.
They all got floppy titties that are painted different colors.
Yes, you're there. You're on the page.
Remind me to never visit Oregon in any capacity. Y'all are just weird.
Okay, let's say this. Y'all heard about the Oregon Ducks?
Heard about the Oregon Trail.
You know where the Oregon Ducks are from? Eugene.
Oregon? Oh, well, that makes sense. I actually have...
Someone made a meme, hippies don't die, they moved to Oregon.
Yes.
One of my residents loved the Oregon Ducks. And, like, the only time, like, I would have to negotiate whether to get her to, like, be nice to me or whatever, to get her to do different things, I'd always tell her, okay, if you let me do this, or if you help me with this, I'll put on your Oregon Duck shirt. And she loved it. She said that she used to be a cheerleader for the Oregon Ducks, and she was.
Really?
Which is weird. Yeah, how she ended up.
What is a resident? I don't get it. What's a resident?
It's a resident is a person who lives in a nursing home.
Put it back up, Brett.
They're not like patients in a hospital. What are they? I see a rooster.
Chickens can cross the. He's got. Too big.
Okay.
I want to live in a world where chickens can cross the road without question.
Motive.
I was driving back from like the desert, and there was just a random chicken just walking across the road, and I was like, "What are you doing here?" And Lars is like, "That's the problem." My boyfriend's like, "That's your problem. Is you feel the need to question this chicken."
That was right after you had some loss of time on your watch, and you were returned to the planet from ship. That's exactly what happened.
No, I went to drop off my boyfriend's little sister's just some soccer stuff for her because she was living at her friend's house, or she was visiting her friend's house, and it's like 20 minutes away from where I live. So, and it's in the middle of the desert. So, I mean, you could stop and shoot, and you would never hit a house in any direction. That's how far out there it is. So there's just one chicken, and like, where's the house where this chicken belongs?
Right.
Like this chicken is not out here because there are coyotes out here. There are wolves out here. There are things that will eat it yesterday out here.
It's a total free-range chicken. You guys see that TV commercial about the phone? And then it's got the... That's funny.
Sending us pictures from everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, so what is Texas known for? Give me one thing it's known for.
Steers and queers? Oh, I'm sorry.
And? No, that's Oklahoma. Oklahoma, they're known for steers and queers. Do you guys know where that movie's from that she just quoted? She just quoted something from a movie. Officer and a Gentleman.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You quoted that, Officer and a Gentleman, and didn't even know you quoted it?
No, I thought you were talking about Sierra. I was trying to think of what she had said. Yeah, that was from Officer and a Gentleman.
Oklahoma. What's from Oklahoma? Nothing from Oklahoma but steers and queers. Which one are you?
I don't see any horns on you, so which one are you?
All right, so give me something else that Texas is known for.
Big hats.
Come on.
Cowboys. Oil.
Come on.
Rattlesnakes.
Oil.
Barbecue. Barbecue.
Oh, barbecue.
Barbecue.
Barbecue stuff. Whatever.
Can you believe that?
Barbecue.
All you're going to accomplish here is making me hungry and throwing me off my diet. So whatever
Austin,
you say about barbecue.
Austin is Texas's like Boston
Liberal.
or San Francisco
Eugene.
or something.
Eugene, Oregon.
They need a biopsy of Texas, and they just need to take out Houston and Austin and all of these places where the fucking Californians that migrate over just kind of settle. Because that's what's screwing up Texas.
They're going to have a resolution that bans barbecue restaurants because of the smoke. It's like that. That's what you're for.
I saw an article where this guy got, I guess he was fined or whatever, because the barbecue smell wafted into the street.
Yeah, you see that?
So they said if you can't contain it in your yard, like, okay, then somebody needs to invent the barbecue tent, and then we can all die of carbon monoxide poisoning. Yeah. I use charcoal barbecues, not propane. Propane's gross.
Yeah, I use a gas grill, but
that's because you like inferior meats.
Oh my God.
Oh! I'm not gonna. I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
So you have a Weber, right? You got a Weber.
It's on my. I can't hear something wrong with my headset. I'm not sure what's going on.
No, she likes it. She's got a Weber. She's got a Weber with them black coals, right?
Whoa.
Why are they gonna be black, Jim?
Why are the coals gonna be black, Jim?
Why is charcoal black? Well, it turns white, so it's kind of like the anti-Rachel Dolezal, or it's kind of like
by the way,
Michael Jackson.
That every black
of nature
is trying to be white, Sierra. They're trying to turn white. Is that?
That's a good point. She brings up a good point. When it's all ready, everything's white.
Right. The coals are.
When it's ready to work, it's white.
Coals are white hot.
Oh, I hope people watching this understand that we are making fun of the whole damn thing. Please tell me you do.
I'm trolling people. Okay, so I sent y'all a screen grab of a page that I absolutely love, Liberal Chick.
Yeah.
And so naturally, when I get bored, I go on there and troll. So one of my comments was, unborn babies fetuses.
We're stuck.
And then some guy called me a vapid idiot or whatever. And I was like, it's not my fault fetus tissues look like gross little aliens. Hashtag duh. Hashtag abort people, not kitties. And then this guy is like, you're not as cute as lions either. I mean that in a nice way. And the other guy sounds, you sound like a goddamn rapist. So I'm not sure if I should comment, like clarifying my sarcasm, or if I should kind of let them duke it out in my comments.
By the way,
I love trolling people on that page.
If you have to explain sarcasm,
I know
the people are too stupid to understand it anyway.
No, the battle's lost.
I said that I love that liberal chick too, but I thought it was somebody else. I don't know that I've ever seen her.
Yes, you have.
Have I?
Oh, I'm sure you shared her stuff.
She pretends to be a liberal hippie freak, and it's actually one of the daughters of one of the chicks on the right.
Oh, okay.
She pretends.
You know who Doug Giles is? He owns Clash Daily, or he runs Clash Daily.
Yeah.
Okay, his daughter Regis, I think that's her friend, or his like niece,
or something like that.
Yeah. No. Anyway, no, she's freaking brilliant. Because she gets all these like neoconservatives up in arms and like meh, and all these liberals are like right on, and she's saying the stupidest shit. Like, and you pick out the idiots, because it's obviously satire, it's obviously sarcasm, but these comments are full of stupid people.
But how can you use a liberal? Either truth or be really sarcastic. It's like either way you win. Either way, because they just don't get it. They don't grasp. If I do this and then I do this, what happens? I don't know. I want $15 an hour minimum wage. That's all I know.
Did you see the people? Did you see what's going on with them up in Seattle? They're making too much money now to stay on welfare benefits, so they're asking their employers for less hours.
Jim, how the hell am I supposed to get my government check? I ask you a question. How much get my government check if I work? Holy shit, they want me to work 40 hours a week?
You know what?
Oh my gosh,
all of these assholes that are demanding $15 an hour. I need a living wage because I didn't move beyond my high school years as a cashier at McDonald's. Need to be. You know what? I can replace you and your whining ass with a machine that runs on the cost of electricity, and it won't screw up the order.
Listen, I am very disappointed that American industry has traveled outside of our borders to find cheaper labor. At the same time, if I am running a for-profit business, and I mean, I look at like Nike and the car manufacturers. I mean, it's like we are at a very base level now. If you drive this minimum wage up, we will be pressed. Listen, I can use this technology, my iPhone. This iPhone will have an app that'll allow. I'm going to be there in. Yes, you can use my location. Yes, you got my location. I am driving towards you now. Traffic conditions are such. I'll be there in 11 minutes. I would like the Big Mac, the large fry, and the Diet Coke. I will be there in your drive-thru in a couple of minutes. And we won't have somebody taking my order. We won't have somebody cooking it back there. We will have one
but you were just talking to somebody
out
on the
the
phone.
window.
You just plug it into your phone.
No stoner asking you, I'm sorry, what did you say 3 times when you're trying to order a Big Mac at 1 o'clock in the morning because you work night shift and it's your lunchtime?
Let me ask you this. How many times have you left a McDonald's drive-thru to find out that, oh, you know what, that mustard that I wanted for my fries or my chicken nuggets or whatever? Listen, I don't recommend going to McDonald's.
Amy, maybe it's something about their youth. I haven't eaten at McDonald's for a long time.
I steal ketchup packets.
I'm
I
afraid
steal
of what's
ketchup
in that
packets
food.
when I go into McDonald's because every time I order, I was like, can I have fries and can I make sure to get ketchup with those fries? They never give me ketchup. So I have a glove compartment full of tools and tire pressure gauges and ketchup.
Don't let one puncture the other.
Oh God, I know that would be messy. My glove compartment would pop open and my passenger would get sprayed with ketchup. Oh great.
All I'm saying is that all of this,
like you just stabbed him to death, and then you'd be on the ground, and you know.
Did you guys see that the Loch Ness Monster was found?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I saw that. They discovered the Loch Ness Monster in the same area as Sasquatch. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh no, actually, I don't know if you saw this, but no, they were actually in kind of an intimate moment. It was a bit exactly. There you go. There it is. Yep.
I mean, really, that show. The other parts of the world must look at our TV shows and be like, "What in God's name are these people doing?" They're really
no wonder Americans are so fat and stupid.
Clinically insane.
Mm-hmm.
You know
We're
what?
over here trying to teach our children that Bigfoot exists, and if he exists, he's got rights and he has feelings, and he should have the right to an abortion. Meanwhile, in the Middle East, they're teaching their children how to behead our children.
Right.
I'll take, you know what? I will always take American insanity over, I don't know, any thought from the Middle East. I mean, I'm very happy to do so.
Yeah, that's true. But it's almost like they take the most inane, asinine shows that they can find. Finding Bigfoot, wrestling.
That story never ends. That show will never end.
Of course not.
Oh my God, they keep getting paid to go not find anything. Our government is probably funding these people.
Ghost Hunt is another one.
But what was that one TV show that was on for like 8 years, and it was something about How I Met Your Mother? And it's like, wait a minute, this is 8 years later. We still don't freaking know how you met the mother.
We don't know which one is the mother. I mean, which one is the father, right?
Right.
Well, I thought it was ironic that show ended with a couple.
I saw this picture the other day. And I'm just curious. I wanted to ask for a second.
Threesome, yes, please.
No.
I was going to say
like
the same
a
thing,
woman
Brett.
thing? Look at both of their expressions. Both of their expressions are almost identical.
The displeased, cinched lip, yeah.
Both of them.
It's a woman thing. Piss us off, our lips disappear.
Let me think about what I'm going to say so I don't throat punch somebody.
Yeah, both of them. But almost like to each other, because we know that Megyn Kelly is not all that conservative. And
not anymore, anyways.
Yeah, and Ann Coulter digs Donald Trump because he's so anti-establishment.
Wait a second. Ann Coulter's Adam's apple is awfully big.
She has an Adam's apple faux show.
Is that impossible?
She was just in Sharknado 3. Have you seen it?
I'm just asking.
She ends up grabbing a picture of, I think it's Thomas Jefferson or Madison off the wall and surfing down on the backs of sharks.
Is it even possible?
Oh, no. She was not in a bikini.
No, she was the vice president of the United States and had to get by some deadly sharks that were flopping around on the stairs. It's the most asinine movie. It's like I was like a moth to the flame.
And there's a demand for 3 of them, not one, not 2, but 3 of those stupid ass movies.
I'm still
that
stuck on
means
the
people
Adams.
are watching them.
Just an Adam's apple. Ann Coulter's a dude. I didn't realize it.
Then the left should be celebrating her because she's obviously transgendered.
Oh my God!
There's a commercial that tells about people are just not with it these days, and I don't know if I should show this or not, but I'm going to show this just for the heck of it. It's just kind of.
I don't know if I should. I'm going to do it, but I don't know if I should.
Watch it. This is funnier than shit. Have you seen this? Watch. I don't know why I'm showing this. It's tea. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm showing this. People just start paying attention these days to anything, politics or coffee.
First of all, what kind of whack-ass commercials do they air in Oregon? Because I have never seen that, and I can guarantee the outrage here in conservative Idaho, you will never hear the end of it.
That's a German commercial. That's from German TV.
I was just thinking
weird things
people don't pay attention.
That's not an American commercial.
It's not that they don't pay attention to politics. People just don't pay attention.
Nope, you're right. You're right. But by the way, in a pinch, a tea bag will work. Anyway.
No, it won't. Believe me.
And if you decide to be like one of those stupid girls on YouTube and suck on it, it'll actually taste a little earthier than normal.
Oh my good Lord!
You want to see? Let me show you the apple.
One is meant to absorb. The other one is meant to disperse.
So you're gonna have a tea-flavored / scented vagina for the entire week.
Brett,
it's like potpourri for your nether region.
I do love potpourri.
Brett, did I just start something?
I think you might have.
Herbal essences just took on a whole new meaning.
Oh,
yeah, no kidding, huh?
Oh boy. Hey, tell me if this car is real. I honest to God don't know. Okay? This would be cool if it is. Watch. It says VW on the front.
Are those people Japanese, but they've got a Volkswagen that looks something like a Dyson?
It's in China. Right. Never seen a car like this.
I need that for my traffic in the morning. I would be up and over the traffic in a heartbeat.
I think it's real.
Well, did you research it?
I don't know. It's a commercial.
What the fuck? They can't park in that country. That's for sure. Boy, this is fake. You know this, right?
Right? Volkswagen. I don't know.
Honey, you realize we haven't even invented the hoverboard yet.
No.
Let alone the hover car.
Tony Hawk was trying it. Oh no, he said that was fake.
Oh, that was fun to watch. Hey, listen, I got to tell you this though, that floating Volkswagen. You're gonna tell me Honda didn't do it first? I'm going to go ahead and say, what?
I don't know.
Volkswagen can't make their dashboard work consistently for a year, let alone put a car that floats on the road. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Come on.
Did you all see that Obama actually used the words?
Proud to be the first Kenyan American president. I saw that.
Also, now he's not just African American. Now he's more specifically Kenyan American.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, of course.
Yeah.
Listen, he will actually render to people who hate him. I mean, is it here and he does it there? That's impressive.
I hope. Okay. Not conspiracy. I'm just telling you the truth, and I got to make sure I've got this as documented as possible.
That's what a conspiracy theorist would say.
I want to make sure this is documented because in 6 months you'll all turn around and go, "Wow, he wasn't a conspiracy theorist."
That's a conspiracy theorist.
I am sticking to my guns that within the next 6 months now, I was waiting for him to go to Kenya to visit his, quote, father's homeland, because that's what he said. I'm visiting my father's homeland. He is going to come back and probably in the next 3 to 4 months make the announcement that he is converting to his father's religion of Islam. Just saying. Right. Quote, converting.
Towards the end of his presidency, he will be ousted. He will be ousted, and everything he has ever done, all executive action, all of it, is going to be overturned because they will show that his birth certificate was fake. That is coming. They will overturn all the bull that he's put into place. I honestly think this was an experiment. Obama was an experiment.
No.
Trust me.
We're almost like we're in the frickin' Matrix.
I'm going to give you one little piece, and I'm done. Obama's birth certificate will be proven to have he will be proven to have not been born in the United States, nullifying every executive decision and every law that he has signed.
And he'll be in prison.
No, he will revert. Well, no, he'll escape to Kenya where he'll live like a king or wherever he goes, and he'll still be a billionaire at the end. Listen, the whole thing is that he will. Well, he wouldn't. I don't think he would face any criminal time. Well, I mean, I guess it'd be fraud, but the legal system would take years and years to actually put him in jail and make $300,000.
That's if they could get him back from wherever he goes.
No. I do believe that this is an experiment because
this is going to happen, Brett.
Yes.
This is going to happen right there.
No.
There's going to be a national crisis.
No.
That's not. No. That's one you lose me on. That's not happening.
Hey, listen. Here's a conspiracy saying, no, I'm not even buying that one anymore. I don't believe the whole bullshit anymore. I think it's a bunch of crap. It's not going to happen. We will not have some crisis where...
Here you go. Watch.
It has been an extraordinary privilege for me to serve as President of the United States. I love my work.
I love America would have been a good thing to say.
I cannot run again.
Listen to what Trump says.
I can't run again.
Second part of this. But you can keep your doctor.
I actually think I'm a pretty good president. I think if I ran, I could win.
How do you think Hillary feels?
I can't.
I think he would fail miserably if he ran again. I would beat him so easily. Obama would get creamed if he ran again.
Ran against him?
Oh, I would love to run against him. I would love to run against him. I don't think I'm going to get the chance to run against Hillary because what she did is criminal. And it's going to be very interesting to see whether or not, I think I will get the nomination. I think, look, people are tired of these politicians. They're tired of tone. Bush was saying the other day, oh, the tone. They chop off heads. The border is a disaster. The whole world is a disaster. We're talking about tone. We need energy. We need enthusiasm. And we need a much tougher tone, not a weaker tone. And Hillary said the same thing.
But
Hillary is going to have a hard time getting the nomination. When you get rid of hard drives, when you get rid of all of the things she got rid of, all these thousands and thousands of emails, remember this, General Petraeus, they destroyed his life for doing much less than she did.
See,
I agree with that.
I think that, I'm telling you guys, I think that he is more on target than people are giving him credit for. I think people are afraid to say the words that he is.
I don't have a problem with everything that he's saying. He's just not going to be my president. That's all I'm saying.
I am making an announcement right here and right now that the Blast is endorsing. I'm just kidding.
I would reach through the screen and throat punch you.
Amy,
actually, all members of the Blast are endorsing this president in 3, 2, 1.
Like it or not.
Did you guys see the new cover page for the Blast Facebook page? Did you see what it said? That was compliments of Amy's throat punching me.
I did not throat punch you. I just said,
you did.
Please, please, please do the disclaimer. Thank you for doing that.
That's not how I read it. It was
honestly,
pretty vile.
No, see, Amy, when I read
spirited.
Amy, when
You're
I
such a big
when I read what you wrote, this host of the Blast, I was like, oh shit! If we were all in the same room, right now,
Amy,
I'd be like, oh no, you didn't.
I would have to pull Amy off of Jim, and not for good reasons, but because I would have to stop her from plunging the knife through his throat.
Amy sent me truly, honest to God, one of the nicest, kindest, most short, but it was cute suggestions that we really make sure that people know that we're not endorsing anybody, especially Trump, like right now. And I thought, you know what? I actually was already thinking about that because I was really high on Ted Cruz for a while, and I'm getting a lot warmer again. But I was going to put on there, because I was saying so many nice things about him, that I was going to put, we're not endorsing anybody right now. It's too early.
It's just, like I said, it's just the way you would put, I know that you like to play devil's advocate and get people riled up, but the way it was coming across was that the Blast is endorsing Donald Trump, and I'm like, I'm not.
Hey, let me ask you, you guys,
unless I'm no longer part of the Blast. No.
Yeah, it was you were so spot on that I appreciated it.
Do you guys know who the author Douglas Adams is?
The author Douglas Adams? No.
Is he related to John Adams?
No, Douglas Adams, the author, wrote Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
He did Adam's Family?
No, I know.
Douglas Adams, Hitchhiker's Galaxy, So Long and Thanks for All the Fish.
Intergalactic Travel?
Do you guys know who I'm talking about? Really, you don't?
No.
Okay, in his, I believe it's So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, I believe he wrote a quote in there, and they were intergalactic search for the new president of the galaxy. It's a social satire. The whole series is a social satire making fun of our world and culture today. It's very brilliantly done. But one of the things he said was, in the future, they have realized that they need to spend exhaustive time and effort to find the person that least wants to be president of the galaxy.
Exactly like George Washington, because when they knocked on his door,
most qualified for the job. And I love that. I love that he met a person who least wants the job.
Right, but
is the most qualified to do the job.
But Sierra was saying something about Jefferson after to what Washington. You were going to say about Washington.
Jefferson was the opposite of that. Jefferson wanted the presidency very bad and wasn't exactly the best president. But Washington was not. He did not want any part of it. He was done after they got everything all settled. He just wanted to retire to his home. And they came in the store and he said, have I not yet done enough for my country? And yet he did spend time as president. So I think that's indicative of somebody who is going to be the most qualified because they don't engage in politics.
I think it's somebody who's indicative of who had wooden teeth and he had to smile too much and go to
first of all, they were made out of like hippopotamus bone. And that's why he never smiled.
He smiled.
Did you guys see Donald? I hate to do this. I'm not endorsing him. But did you guys see Donald Trump?
Donald Trump president.
Did you guys see Donald Trump call out Anderson Cooper and say
that's awesome?
Did you guys notice Anderson Cooper's response? Can I play it real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. I want you to catch this. I'm only going to play a minute and a half.
General voters.
I don't know. You keep bringing up negative. You only want to talk about negative. Why don't you bring up the positive?
Well, I did.
I mean, you start off. Excuse me. You start off with the interview.
No, I started off with the Washington Post poll.
You started off the interview with a poll that I didn't even know existed.
I started off with the Washington Post poll intentionally because I knew you would accuse me of that.
Sure. All I know is every poll I'm leading in, and you give me these two polls where it's different states. They're not even a national.
We'll check the record. I started off with the Washington Post poll where you are way out in front.
I think it's very unfair. You're talking about a poll I never even saw.
It's today. It's
not even a poll. Okay. It's on 3 different states, and you're hitting me with this. Okay. And I think frankly, I think it's a very fair question.
Okay.
I think it's an extremely. You start off the interview with that. You don't say I led in the Fox poll. I'm leading in the ABC Washington Post poll.
You're leading across the board.
Well, you did. I am leading across the board.
Right.
And then you hit me with this poll that I didn't even see before. Where it's not even that kind of a poll. All I know is I have a very big group of support. And I think one of the reasons is that...
Okay, now here it comes. When Donald Trump says the reason why people don't like all of this is they don't trust you, as soon as he says they don't trust you, it only lasts about 1 second. Watch what Cooper says.
Let me tell you, the people don't trust you, and the people don't trust the media.
Right.
And I am...
Right.
He admitted it. Right. They don't trust you, and he goes, right.
The people don't trust you, and the people don't trust the media.
Right.
And I understand
and politicians.
why. I've always been
He admitted it. And politicians. So he's sitting there saying they don't trust you, and instead of him fighting for himself and saying, wait a minute, we're trying, whatever, his only comeback that he could even give right.
By the way, I would like to, Jim, think about it. Take any of like a Ted Cruz or Rand Paul, or let's replace Trump with one of those guys. They would have been like, Anderson, we're looking at these polls, we're looking at these in this one way. Really, what I'm trying to say to the American people, politicians would change the subject. They
want to be polite.
But Trump's problem is he does not take criticism very well.
Fuck good.
Even constructive criticism. Like, he does not listen to anybody but himself. And it can be good, but on the other hand, if you're president, you are literally the voice of the people. So you have to listen to other people.
Right.
Exactly. So you have to have an open mind and open ears.
Obama and Hillary were both for traditional marriage. They are both staunch supporters of gay marriage today. And it's that
because
type
they're spineless fish.
Exactly. And so, even if he's not taking constructive criticism out of a sense of pride, I would rather have that than a flip-flop.
He has a very short fuse. And that can be good, actually. Like, if we're dealing like with
can't
enemies,
be worse than what we've got.
Well, nothing can be much worse. I'd vote for my dog's lawn ornaments before I'd vote for any Democrat that they're running right now.
I'm gonna show a picture here real quick, and I would like to first get Amy's response, and then Sierra's, and then Brett's. But give it.
I'm not gonna talk.
Yeah, you will. You can't help yourself. The Purple Heart. They are not going to give, the Obama administration is fighting giving the Purple Heart to the folks who were murdered because they refused to say that he was a terrorist while he followed the guy on the right, who's now dead, but he was a follower, and they're fighting this to give them the Purple Hearts. What do you think, Amy?
Well, there is a process for, there is a process for, or protocol, I should say, for getting the Purple Heart. They have to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the shooter was acting as a terrorist. And until they say that, like they didn't say that about Nidal Hassan for how many years, you know what I mean? Even though they had everything, they say they have to get concrete proof before they can give him the Purple Heart.
So are you okay with this process?
Well, yeah. I mean, you can't just give it away willy-nilly. I mean, look what John Kerry got a freaking Purple Heart for a piece of shrapnel in his butt cheek, and he was in for 90 days, and then he got out, and suddenly he's a fucking war hero. Give me a break. You know what I mean? Like, you have to make sure that if these guys died because of radical Islam and it was a terrorist attack, yes, they should get it, if they're on U.S. soil or not. But if he wasn't, and you can't prove that he was, then it kind of takes away from the people who actually did get it in wartime.
Okay,
so,
that's a good point. And you're not convinced yet that it was a...
Oh, it is, absolutely. I think it's beyond a shadow, but they have to go through and prove that with whatever, emails, joining clubs, following this guy,
Sierra, what do you think? Have you talked about this on your show? She fell asleep.
She's frozen.
Look at that. It looks like she fell asleep.
Yeah, she's frozen.
No, her picture right there. She fell asleep.
She's frozen.
Oh.
And she's back. You look frozen.
I'm actually very tired, so I could actually fall asleep.
We're almost done. We're done in 5 minutes.
It's only 10 o'clock. I feel so old.
I just put there's a picture of all the people hanging off the bridge trying to block the boat, the icebreaker, and it shows a picture of them. They're right here in Portland. They're strung across the bridge, hanging down, and I'm commenting on this liberals page, and I said, "Target practice?" ?
Oh
God!
Come on!
And now we wait.
Yeah,
I know exactly.
Last thing I'm going to put up here, the last story before we go. Did you see the story about the little boy who made medical history with the new hands?
No.
Okay,
no.
I'm going to play this. It was just on the news yesterday, and what he said at the end was so freaking inspiring, and some of what he said didn't get shown here, but he stood up right after this, and he asked the family of the recipient's family to please stand up so he could tell them something. And you'll see this is just an awesome, awesome story. Watch this.
We end tonight with the story of a great young boy from Owings Mills, Maryland, whose life has been changed by an amazing operation. Anna Werner reports he's become the first child to receive a hand transplant.
I want you to know, most people would have considered Zion Harvey a miracle before this operation. The 8-year-old survived a severe infection and the amputations of both his hands and feet at the age of 2.
I'm doing it. I know.
He walks with the help of prosthetic legs. But for his hands, doctors at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia wanted to do something more.
So hard.
Dr. Scott Levin directed the unprecedented procedure.
Why has this never been done before?
I think the difficulty was finding a family who has the courage to relinquish the arms of a child who just died and give hope and life and quality of life to a child who's still living.
Levin led a team of 40 people, including 10 surgeons, who worked in 4 separate teams to attach the donor's hands in an operation earlier this month. Hands from a child roughly the same size and age.
And you can see the hand right here starting to pink up.
At a news conference today, Zion waved to the crowd.
I just want to say this. Never give up on your dreams. It will come true.
He says he's happy to have new hands, but does it feel different?
It feels the same because I never left who I was. I'm the same person who I still used to be, but with some cool new hands.
And do a little massage. Doctors expect Zion's hands to become stronger and grow with him, but he's already reached one milestone. Today, he signed his name.
Let's go, boy.
Anna Werner, CBS News, Philadelphia.
He said, I'm the same person that I was before. I just have some cool new hands. And then during that little press conference, he stood up and he asked the family of the other child who died, there was about 8 or 10 of them there, if they would please stand up. And he thanked them and all of that. I mean, this kid it was just a heartwarming story.
Jim is a heartwarming kind of guy.
Yeah. Thank you guys for a good show tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the blast is used to have you with us this evening. Please join us next week when we will be discussing baking tips for croissants.
I actually, Nike. Oh, sorry. I actually do want to bring on a chef friend of mine every once a month or something to do a segment.
And some more.
He's an executive chef, and his name's Nate. I want it'd be called Nate's Bitchin' Kitchen, and do a little cooking segment where he can teach us how to make
Bitchin' Kitchen was already a show. I think that's true.
Yeah, you can't.
It was?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Hey, look at that.
Nadia G. She had a fake Italian accent.
Oh.
Yeah,
I didn't know
if you
that.
look it up, you can probably see her show.
Well, and I got to find another.
Right.
I don't want to pull a Joe Biden and do a what do you call that when you plagiarize?
Right. Hey, good night, everyone. Good seeing all of you.
All right.
You guys.
I'm gonna end the broadcast.
All right. Good night, everyone.